Some threats come suddenly. Others move slowly enough that most people ignore them. But the most dangerous changes on this planet are the ones that look small, quiet, and far away. Until one day, they are unavoidable. Right now, entire nations are standing at the edge of disappearance. Not in a metaphorical sense, but literally. Land is sinking. Water is vanishing. Populations are collapsing. Governments are fracturing. And the world map we take for granted is becoming outdated with every passing year. Most people imagine countries disappear through war or conquest. But today, nations are being erased by tides, by drought, by mathematics, by migration, and by instability. No government seems capable of controlling. By 2050, several countries may no longer exist in the form we recognize today. Some may shrink, some may split, some may evacuate, and some may move entirely into the digital world. This is the story of a vanishing world, and the countries racing against time to survive. The Maldives feels like a postcard come to life. Bright skies, blue waters, luxury resorts, but beneath the surface, the nation lives with a ticking clock. 80% of the Maldives stands less than 1 meter above sea level. 1 meter, the height of a dining table. A single storm surge could take that away. The president once held a full cabinet meeting underwater to warn the world. The photos went viral. The message did not. Today, the Maldives is quietly making evacuation plans, because by mid-century, parts of the nation could be permanently underwater. Tourists come for the beauty. The locals stay for the only home they've ever known, and the ocean waits. Across the Pacific, the nations of Tuvalu and Kiribati face the same slow drownings. High tide means flooded homes. Saltwater creeps into farms, poisoning crops. Waves carve away the coastline day by day. For children growing up here, the math is cruel. Their homeland may not outlive their lifetime. Tuvalu's government has already begun creating a digital version of the country. A full virtual replica, land, culture, buildings, preserved in the cloud. A nation preparing to exist online, because the real one may go under. When a country has to clone itself digitally just to survive, the future has already changed. Some nations won't drown. They'll dry out. In a world of rising temperatures, the quiet threat is not too much water, but not enough. Jordan is one of the driest countries on Earth. Rainfall is disappearing. Groundwater is running out. Rivers are shrinking into dusty scars in the earth. As its population grows, its water supply collapses. Refugees pour in. Demand skyrockets. And vast regions drift toward becoming uninhabitable. Jordan faces a simple but devastating reality. You cannot sustain a nation without water, and by 2050, water scarcity could rewrite the borders of the Middle East itself. Yemen's crisis is known for conflict, but its deeper threat is water, or more accurately, the lack of it. Sana'a, the capital, is projected to become the first major city in the world to completely run out of water. Wells are failing. Pumps sit idle. Entire families spend hours searching for a few buckets of drinkable water. War can break a nation, but a dried-out capital can erase it. When the taps run dry, people leave. And once people leave, a country becomes territory. Empty, abandoned, forgotten. Not all disappearances come from nature. Some come from instability, political, social, and structural. A nation doesn't need to sink or starve to vanish. It can fracture until nothing remains. Somalia is a nation in name, but in function, it is a patchwork of regions governing themselves. For decades, governments have risen and fallen like waves. Borders blur, territories break away. The idea of Somalia stretches thin. If fragmentation continues, the country may splinter into multiple smaller states. A map redrawn not by outsiders, but by internal collapse. A nation can disappear not by being conquered, but by unraveling. South Sudan became the world's newest country in 2011. The world cheered. Hope soared. But that hope faded quickly. Conflict, economic breakdown, floods that wipe out crops, droughts that scorch farmland. South Sudan's borders exist on paper, but inside those borders, survival is a daily negotiation. If things do not change, South Sudan may split, merge, or collapse entirely. A nation that lived barely a generation. Some countries disappear even while their land remains untouched. Their threat is demographic, quiet, invisible, impossible to reverse. Japan, a global powerhouse, faces a crisis with no enemy to blame. Birth rates are low. Life expectancy is high. Entire towns are emptying out. Schools close. Homes decay. Rail stations go silent. By 2050, Japan could lose nearly 20% of its population. A nation doesn't need war to shrink. Sometimes it fades softly, town by town, family by family. In Europe, Bulgaria and Latvia face some of the world's fastest population declines. Young citizens move abroad. Birth rates fall. Economies shrink. Elderly citizens remain, but not enough workers to sustain the nation. A country is more than land and borders. It's people. And when the people leave, the nation disappears, slowly but inevitably. Some nations won't go underwater or dry out entirely. They will simply erode, carried away by the tide piece by piece. Bangladesh sits on a river delta where nature is powerful, unpredictable, and unforgiving. Cyclones sweep across the land. Floods rise overnight. Rivers break their banks. Entire villages vanish in hours. With rising sea levels, tens of millions could be displaced, one of the greatest migrations in human history. Bangladesh is not sinking all at once. It's dissolving. The Gambia, a nation, narrowing year by year. A tiny country wrapped around a river, beautiful, delicate, eroding. Shorelines crumble, homes fall into the ocean, beaches shrink, and the nation itself narrows year after year, meter by meter. By 2050, large sections of Gambia's coast may no longer exist. Most people imagine a disappearing nation as a dramatic event, a sudden collapse, an invasion, an explosion of chaos. But today, disappearance is quiet. One flooded village at a time. One dried-out river at a time. One abandoned town at a time. Some countries will evacuate populations to safer lands. Some will merge with neighbors out of necessity. Some will exist only as digital archives, preserving identity even after the land is gone. The map is changing, slowly, silently, irreversibly. By 2050, the world will look very different. Some nations will be smaller, some weaker, some gone. And the rest of us will live in a world shaped by their disappearance. Countries do not last forever. Not all borders survive the forces of nature, the weight of instability, or the pressure of time. Some disappear quickly, some slowly, some without anyone noticing. But each one leaves behind a story of people, culture, identity, and a struggle against forces larger than any government.